Welcome back to Noni Rider's channel once again after a long time. And today was a bit of time when some serious shit is happening with the bikes. It seems like a little bit epidemic again. One thing is about the SRAM guide air hydraulic brakes, and of course its pistons. If they are so overheated, simply they just start to collapsing the walls. It's stuck inside the pistons, so it's also a very hard job to do to eject those pistons out of the caliper. So another thing with this bike, this is the rear shocks. The client came with the purpose that his personal mechanic wanted to open rear shocks from the bike, and of course the problem was that original bolt like this, which is from stainless steel, had a problem that it was not able to get out. So he smashed the head of the bolt, and of course there was also an attempt to do a welding on the surface of the bolt, of course with no success, because this is some stainless steel material and they don't have the electrode and welding material that would be well compatible with the primary material. So the problem in here was that someone basically on this area put some kind of type of glue, and this is insane. You know, when you glue something with the stainless steel material and the insert on the bike is from aluminium material, you will get a cold weld no matter what. So it was a 4-hour journey for me, because that mechanic didn't solve the problem. He said need to find someone who will be able to open this with drilling or welding or whatever. So eventually this bolt was basically long as this one, as you can see in comparison. So how to solve this issue? If you have same problem, the only thing is that you can do before you smash the head of the bolt is try to use the centering drill, which is very sharp. I'm going to show you. Looks like this. I don't know why the focus is not so brilliant, but anyway, this is the very sharp drill for making the center for the holes, and then eventually you start to drill small hole, then bigger and bigger, until you come, let's say, around 1.5 millimeter under the thread. After that, it is recommended to use hand driller like this, and you shape the stone from big one to the, let's say, 0.5 millimeter smaller than you did the hole on the bolt, and you drill for around 1 or 2 hours until you reach the thread. You see the lines around, and after that you try to open it with a tool, which is something like this. Of course, in this case was necessary to destroy these tools this was already cut. This one as well, and you simply place inside, because it's left-handed, you screw inside and hoping that it will grab the material. If that doesn't happen, like in this case it didn't happen as well, just use the tool like this. Just a second. Use the tool like this. It's carbon steel. Then you go on the outer edge of the head of the ball. Just smash the hole inside, and then you hammering down around it. So you move like this. You put in here and start hammering down with the hammer. And eventually, because the wall on this side is already so thin that the thread will be torn out. So the next thing that you need to do on the bike is then you kind of remove all the necessary stainless steel material from the hole, and you repair it, fix it with the M8 threading tool, that you have smooth thread, no additional material inside, and this is how you prepare the bike for install the rear shocks after you finish servicing the rear shocks. So to all those mechanics who doesn't know, this screw, it's not necessary to be added any glue, because eventually this is not something that you open every day, and if the water comes between the joint between stainless steel and aluminum, you will get, no matter what glue you put inside, that glue will eventually evaporate, and it will just leave some ash around it. But the problem is that water and all this combination and different electrochemical potentials will cause that it will basically coat well together both materials, which it's impossible to open even with the Allen key. You will actually eventually make the hole round, and then you're in lost position. So to open these shocks today, the start time was at 6 a.m. and finished at around 10 a.m. So it was hell of a work. It's also very hard to drill on the bike like this. It's carbon fiber bike frame as well, and the problem is when you're drilling, it's getting really hot, and you need to be very careful that you don't smash or damage the epoxy resin in here, the glue, because eventually it can degrade and it doesn't have any functionality anymore. So far so good, and next job what we need to do is just to install new pistons. This is already cleaned out, everything, all the dirt, and put it together, change the oil in the brake calipers, hoping that the piston in the brake caliper is still okay. Eventually we'll have to change also this one and change it with different. The main reason in this epidemic brake disease that it's happening constantly all the time is also sometimes that the piston in the brake lever, it damages the hole, the bore inside the housing. So if the bore is already, let's say, elliptical way, elliptical shape, then the only thing you can do is to drill bigger hole and make bigger piston and hope that it will last forever. Because this is generally a big problem for all the bikes in the last 2-3 years that I'm seeing. When someone say have a SRAM Guide Air brakes, can already expect a lot of problems. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions, just ask down below. Thanks. Bye.